It's a cultural mosaic made up of over 100 different ethnic groups. Major influences in Nova Scotia come from Scotland, Ireland, England, and from the sea.
Canada Games, while it's a sporting event and a major sporting event for our next generation of athletes that will stand on the podium at higher level competitions, I think the cultural element is an essential piece to the Canada Games movement.
The opening and closing ceremonies are a chance to showcase local culture. As crews set up at the Metro Centre in downtown Halifax, themes of tall ships and the Atlantic are clearly present.
It was set up in such a way that your athletes were your backdrop and they were the ones waving the flags, and so there was real thought given to the visual appeal of the whole thing all the way through. The performances were fabulous. They were absolutely top-notch performers, and they were interspersed throughout the pageantry that had to happen.
Halifax and Nova Scotia have obvious roots stemming from Europe, but just like most Canadian communities, they have First Nations culture here as well, but not as prominent as in BC.
Joshua Seymour with the Host Society traveled to Halifax to see how culture is implemented into the Games.
Usually when you go into another nation's territory and you're there for a while, usually you bring a gift for giving thanks for that, for them allowing you to be on their territory, which is why I've carved my feather case here, which I'll present to the Grand Chief.
We are looking extremely forward to working with Prince George. We think there's a lot of heart and emotion in that community. And we know that decision toward the Games to Prince George will make a difference in that community.
We've got the talent, and we've got the people, and we've got the willingness and the relationships. So I talked to some of the other folks about the fact that there seemed to be a scarcity of First Nations presence here in Halifax. It was very different than BC. I think that First Nations will be much more in the foreground in our Games.
One thing is for sure, Halifax has set the bar when it comes to showcasing its local flavor. But Prince George is up for the challenge.